By the way that he would look at you, you would know that this man was evil. It wasn't so much the way that he walked or talked, it was a look inside of his eye. And his fingers were quicker than a wink or a blink of an eye. He could stretch and reach for anything, and the thing that he loved more than anything else was gold. With his thick fingers he would pull his long blonde hair away from his eyes so that he could see them all the better. And he was strong, very strong, and that was a good thing, because here he was on the rough sea in a longship that was made of polished wood, that had seen many journeys and had known many stories. But he was rowing alone. He was going back to collect those things that he had stolen from his enemies. And he placed them by the side of the shore, far away from his own village. And he'd placed them there because he knew that no one else would go there. For there were lies and rumours and stories and sagas that spoke about those people. Not humans, not gods, but neither man nor beast nor God, who lived in these bays and these inlets. And it was that he used to hide his gold, his loot. He wasn't frightened of anything. The old religion was going anyway, so what difference did it make the way that they spoke of the gods? He wanted to bathe in the gold. He would like to have arms wrapped about him, and he would be able to cascade gold from the top of his head and all over his clothes and feel gold upon his skin. But now it was windy. There was a biting rain that was cutting against his beard and making him close his eyes. Many were scared to come to this place, even when the sun shone, but not him. There was a screaming noise. At first he thought it was perhaps just the wind through trees or through his sail. It could have been a voice, but he wasn't sure. It might have been a scream, but there was a glee, a happiness in the voice. And you could see his flag as it flapped in the breeze, and that was the signal that told him that this was the right place to come and collect his gold. He reached down. He pulled the longship up onto the pebbly beach, and he didn't even wait to make sure that the longship would stay in its place, for he almost fell into the water and pulled out the bag of gold, pushed his hand inside, and the first thing that his fingers touched was a golden flute. He might have been strong, his voice might have been the most powerful, and his arm that would be raised first in any battle, but he could play this flute. It was a sweet sound. He couldn't stop himself. Without even counting the gold, he picked up the flute and started to play it. Sweet notes rose up above all of the scream of the wind and the rain, filled the air. And as he played, he forgot himself. And it was then, when he turned back towards the shore, that he saw that there was, upon the beach, a tent, a golden tent, made of old cloth, and beside it there was a house, almost like a longhouse. The longhouse was made out of rough wood, but the tent was made out of gold, and it was gold that he loved more than anything else. And he had a terrible curiosity, a curiosity that would be his undoing. You would think that he would have gone into the house, but he didn't. It was the tent with all of its finery, its golden thread and stitching, that made him go inside. He only had to stoop his head a small amount, for it was tall, and as his eyes adjusted to the darkness and the noise of the tent as it flapped in the breeze and the wind, it was there that he saw that there was a figure, a male figure, a small statue, no longer than his forearm, and he looked at it. But it was made out of gold, and this was what he loved more than anything. "Well, my little man," he spoke. "Well, my little man, then you shall be mine. Its skin, where it had been cut and carved and moulded, it was smooth. But as he picked it up, he placed it at his neck. He had wanted to bathe in gold, but this small man's statue, it was as if the arms could move, for they wrapped their arms about him, and the skin, once so smooth, the golden skin, was now scaled and sharp, and the arms wrapped themselves not once, not twice, not 3 times, and now he was stood there in this place, this powerful man, tall and strong, but wrapped in the bonds of gold, the gold that he had wanted so much. And it was, as he looked towards the face of the small figure, this elf from the underworld, that he could see its sharp teeth.